Well, folks, we have our latest update on Claudine Gay. She is the plagiarist Harvard president who will retain her job because, of course, she fulfills all of the intersectional credentials. Nikole Hannah-Jones is out in defense. The latest on Claudine Gay, the president, the apparently invulnerable president of Harvard University. So the Harvard Crimson has now come out and suggested that she did, in fact, violate academic integrity. Good for the Harvard Crimson. That's a shocker. Now, once Harvard Law, the Crimson is a very left-wing newspaper. According to Mediaite, in an article detailing the allegations against Gay, the Crimson noted it independently reviewed the published allegations and concluded that Gay's work appeared to, quote, violate Harvard's current policies around plagiarism and academic integrity. The newspaper has been generally defensive of Claudine Gay. But the Crimson details the allegations and says that she pretty obviously violates standards that students would be bound by. Meanwhile, this brings about, again, what we talked about yesterday on the show, the final argument against getting rid of Claudine Gay, which is she's a black lady, and so any criticism of her is racist. The person best positioned to articulate this criticism is another mediocre but highly placed person who has been elevated because of her race and because of her intersectional status, Nikole Hannah-Jones, somehow touted as some sort of valuable historian, despite the fact that her histories are entirely wrong, biased, and quite disgusting, actually, morally. Here she was yesterday explaining this is a racist campaign against Claudine Gay. Of course. Everything is a racist campaign.
She is being singled out as someone who is only surviving because of her race. What did you make of that?
Well, it's racist. I mean, no one has produced a shred of evidence that shows that the sole qualification that President Gay had was that she is a black woman. That's insulting. It defies logic. And the fact that of those presidents who all came under intense scrutiny, that only one has been called out as a so-called diversity or affirmative action hire just speaks to what black women in this country have gone through historically and continue to go through every day. She's clearly qualified.
Nikole Hannah-Jones is one of the least qualified historians ever. And yet she was offered like a tenured position at the University of North Carolina. Then she turned it down and she went to a historically black college and university. She's been made sort of the face of the New York Times despite the fact she's not done no work for them for a couple of years. It's pretty astonishing. By the way, it is worth noting that if Claudine Gay had been fired, she would not be the first Harvard president to be fired. Lawrence Summers, you'll recall, was ousted from his position as president of Harvard University. This happened while I was actually at Harvard. He was ousted from that position for the great crime of suggesting that perhaps underrepresentation of women in the hard sciences was due to both underperformance on testing and also lack of interest. Ooh, no, that was so discriminatory that he had to be fired for it. Meanwhile, Claudine Gay's like, genocide against Jews? Depends on the context. And everybody's like, well, she is a black lady. I guess we have to keep her. It really is truly amazing stuff and continues to be truly amazing stuff. But again, Claudine Gay cannot go for the same reason that DEI cannot go. It is the entire reason for higher education now. The perversity of higher education has never been at a higher pitch. And frankly, I'm kind of pleased that they're keeping Claudine Gay because I would prefer that they don't, again, have the fig leaf of firing the president. Like over at UPenn, donors can now feel assuaged that maybe their concerns have been heard. They can't feel that way at Harvard. So hopefully people continue to pull their money from Harvard University and other major universities that mirror that same DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense that have become part and parcel of the indoctrination course at all of our top-level institutions. If you own a firearm, you need to check out Stopbox USA. They just introduced the Stopbox Pro. This new safe, it's the most reliable, secure place for your firearm. The Stopbox Pro is larger, stronger, more versatile. Crafted from durable glass-reinforced polycarbonate ABS, it's not just tough, it's smart. You don't want to be fumbling with keys or electronic codes in high-stress situations. The Stopbox Pro's patented hand gesture code lock allows quick, intuitive access without batteries or electronics. They understand the critical balance between security and accessibility. That's why the Stopbox Pro is designed to be low-profile and portable. Whether you're at home or whether you're traveling, your firearm remains concealed, secure, but readily accessible. Stopbox Pro has an expanded range of 81 combination possibilities, making it more customizable than ever. Plus, an enhanced surface texture gives you a better grip, and the improved locking mechanism is a breeze to operate. So I have a lot of small kids at home, and we also own firearms, and we need access to those firearms for safety. So I rely on Stopbox USA, and you should too. Don't compromise on safety and accessibility. Visit StopboxUSA.com. Use promo code BEN for 10% off your order. Experience the peace of mind that Stopbox brings. That's StopboxUSA.com. Use promo code BEN for 10% off your order. The holidays are here. If you're looking for the perfect gift for someone you love or even something nice for yourself, you should check out Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Their extensive range of premium wellness products helps you sleep better, perform better, recover faster, reduce inflammation, and so much more. From blue light glasses to red light therapy, Bon Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact. My favorite product from Bon Charge, their infrared sauna blanket. I'm not the only one. I was at dinner the other night with somebody, and she was telling my wife exactly how much she loved Bon Charge's product. She's like, it's amazing. She wouldn't stop raving about it. It got tiresome, actually. The infrared sauna blanket has all kinds of benefits. That sauna blanket insert is designed to fit inside your sauna blanket to absorb your sweat and help keep you drier. It uses infrared light, which heats the body directly rather than the air around you like a traditional sauna, which means you get the same benefits at a lower heat. Bon Charge ships worldwide, offers exceptional customer service, comes with a 12-month warranty. This holiday season, Bon Charge is offering a massive 25% off site-wide. Head on over to boncharge.com. The 25% off code will be auto-applied to your entire order. That's boncharge.com. Hurry while it's in stock. The Biden administration wants this giant check signed to Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan and a little bit for the border, but no actual changes in policy at the border. Well, they've been trying this line for a while here, that if Republicans don't just sign off on a clean Ukraine bill, it's because they love Putin, and it isn't working. They continue to push the line, but again, that dog is not hunting. Here's Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader.
If an agreement is reached, do you believe the Speaker will put it on the floor?
That remains to be seen because the pro-Putin caucus of the House Republican Conference is extreme, it's loud, and it's growing. It's led by Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jim Jordan on the inside, and on the outside, it's led by Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson. And it seems increasingly clear that this pro-Putin caucus would like to see Vladimir Putin win in Ukraine, which would be bad for America's national security, which is why it's an open question as to whether House Republicans are serious at all about funding the Ukrainian war effort.
Okay, again, that dog isn't going to hunt because Republicans are already like, sure, we just want you to actually secure the border. Well, now, Senate negotiators, according to the Wall Street Journal, have moved closer to striking a broad deal on changes to U.S. border policy after the White House offered significant concessions to win Republican support for separate legislation further funding Ukraine in the war against Russia. A deal would mark a breakthrough on an issue that has roiled Washington for decades, with the current talks driven by the record number of migrants crossing the southern border and GOP lawmakers' decision to tie new aid to Kyiv to changes in immigration policy. While Democrats are criticizing that linkage, many are signaling in recent days they would be willing to make such a trade-off. That White House offer includes creating a new expulsion power at the border that would allow the government to turn away asylum seekers without letting them claim asylum. Democrats have proposed allowing that new expulsion authority to be used only if certain thresholds are hit, like daily illegal border crossings. Democrats have also offered to create a requirement that some asylum seekers be held in immigration detention for the duration of their hearings. They'll wasn't know whether the new requirement would apply to migrant families or only single adults. It would also raise the initial threshold asylum seekers must meet in a screening interview and expand the government's rapid deportation authority to be used nationwide rather than just at the border. Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma said, "We're going to have to hustle, but it's still possible. There's still days in the calendar." Representative Don Bacon of Nebraska, he said, "We're close to an agreement. Not sure we're there totally, but close." Now, again, these are major concessions from Joe Biden over the border. And frankly, we should continue to fund Ukraine so that they don't actually collapse under the weight of a new Russian invasion, for example. And we should fund Israel in its battle against Hamas. And we should fund Taiwan so that they are armed like a porcupine against China. Like, all that stuff is good stuff. Getting a bunch of border concessions from the Biden administration is a big Republican win. And that again, can only be had if a deal gets cut here. So, again, kudos to the Republicans for standing strong on this particular provision. And Democrats, they're seeing the light at least a little bit. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.